We rolling?
Yup.
We rolling. All right, here we go, man. First episode of Pass the Plug. I got my boy Paulie Siragusa from Sneaker Shields in here. My boy Brylan co-hosting with us. We in the backyard with it, man. So, man, a point of Pass the Plug. This is our first time putting out an episode where we're calling it Pass the Plug. We did a couple of test shoots, but the whole point of Pass the Plug is, man, for you to get to where you are today, people had to pass you the plug. Somebody passed you the plug. It probably happened multiple times, and now you're in a position of being successful where you can now pass the plug to other people, and you've done that for us as well. So today we want to talk to you about what you do best, man, what's in your wheelhouse, which is inventing products, creating SKU numbers, and you've been in the game for a long time, man. So if you just want to introduce yourself, tell the people who you are a little bit, let us know a little bit about your background, how you got to this point right here. Tell us about, and we'll get into some of your products, your new products that you are rolling out. So
yeah, man. Yeah, Paul Siragusa. My friends call me Paulie, so it's good to be here with you, man. Like you said, I've been inventing for a long time, and Sneaker Shields, which y'all probably might have heard of by now, was one of my first inventions back in 2006. And ever since then, you're right, pass the plug. I mean, I was always wondering what the pass the plug really meant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It can mean a lot of things.
It can mean a lot of different things, you know what I mean? So I'm sitting here. So, after the intro, I get it, and I like it. That's what's up, because that really is how you get here. It's all through the network that you build. And the people in those networks, or the plugs,
right,
as you call them, that can actually take you to the next level, are vital if you want to succeed. So.
What I'm learning, man, from being around more and more business owners, people are successful, and that's different for everybody, but everybody has been put on to a certain level. You can take yourself only but so far until you need collaboration from other people. So I just want to start here, man. Tell us a little bit about, the background, the journey, how you came up with this product, how you even thought of this idea. Give me 1 second. Hold on. I feel like I'm cut out a little bit. Go that way. There we go. So yeah, how did you even come up with this idea? How long ago? Talk to us about walking through the process of starting your first product, your first business.
Yeah, sure. I consider myself a problem solver, and I've always, found a way to overcome certain problems that most people would get stuck on, that would either, make them stop and pursuing a goal, or whatever the case may be. I've just always found a way to either get around it, go under it, go through it, go over it. You know what I'm saying? Blow it up, get it out of my way. You know what I mean? I'm getting to, you got to get to the goal. But yeah, and so, I mean, with Sneaker Shields, ever since me and my brothers were little kids, we'd be beating the hell out of each other with my dad's shoe trees, right? He had these wooden shoe trees. And I remember one time as a kid, I was maybe 10 years old, and I asked him, why do you put these things in your shoes? And he says, well, you put them in the shoes and it tries to keep the shape of the shoe, like new. Yeah. Although you just crease it up when you wear it, and now you're trying to take the creases out. So, even at 10 years old, I thought to myself, well, that's dumb. Why don't they make something that just can go in the shoe and that doesn't crease it in the first place? Right. And then you don't need that thing.
Right.
So, as time went on, I had an opportunity to actually, get involved with some patent attorneys that, that were pretty good, and kind of steered me in different ways on some inventions that I had. And before you know it, wearable shoe trees, were conceived in, I think, around 2006, 2007. And, from there on, it's just been, a inventing roller coaster, man,
Right.
And, the thing with inventing is you have to kind of pick and choose what you want to do, because when you come up with something, let's say, every day,
right.
It takes a lot of money to pursue every single one of those little inventions. So, out of everything that I come up with, I try and kind of pick the most, economical ones, the ones that'll help people the most.
Yeah.
And, the ones that I can do for, a small amount of money, let's say, but to get a huge outcome, a huge outcome.
So you already had this fascination from an early age. Was this your first business?
Yeah, this was my first business, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And you mentioned you got tied in with some patent attorneys. Like, how does it go from this idea of like, Dad, why do you have these shoe trees in here versus we should have something we should wear? You actually get a product created. How does it go from thought to actual conception?
Yeah, that's a great question. And a lot of people get hung up on that answer. And that's why there's so many people that are looking for success and never achieve it. Always number one, God, keep God in your life is number one. But number two, law of attraction, manifestation is a force that has propelled me, in life to where I'm at today. I mean, I can give you some examples. When I was a kid, they'd always ask me, what are you going to be when you get older? And I'd always tell them I'd get my break. And when I say always, that means first grade, second,
Always.
fourth,
Always means
fifth
always.
grade,
Yeah.
eighth grade. Now I'm in high school. Paulie, what college you going to? Oh no, I'm not going to college. What do you mean? I told you I'm gonna get my break.
Yeah.
Well, what does that mean? It means I'm not gonna have to work for nobody, and I'm gonna get my break. That's what it means.
Yeah.
So at 30 years old, I end up conceiving this product and started the first company for sneaker shields. Although it wasn't called Sneaker Shields back then, it was called Box Fresh.
Box Fresh.
Yeah, Box Fresh.
I know you got some history with that too, with your Box Fresh. You should pull those
Oh,
original
yeah,
Box Freshes out.
Well,
Let's
this is
chain too on the mic. There we go.
Yeah, man, appreciate
Box
it.
Fresh.
Yeah, so
Do you look back at that name and be like, man, I'm so glad I went with Sneaker Shields?
they were called Box Fresh inserts, and that's because they were shoe inserts, sneaker inserts that kept the shoes looking fresh out the box.
Right.
So I wanted something that kind of said what it was, but didn't at the same time. You know what I mean? And yeah, back then, shoes looking like this was my main motivation to solve the problem. I remember I came home from the mall one day, and you remember when we were kids and we go to the mall and they say, do you want to wear these out? Yeah, I want to wear them out. Put my old shoes in the bag.
I still do that.
Yeah,
bro.
right. I want to wear them out, right? And then I get home and I got my feet kicked up on the table and I'm looking at my shoes and I said, there ain't no way I got creases in my shoes already.
It ain't even been 24 hours.
This is incredible. So, ever since that day, there was something that drove me to, it just took me back to when I was a kid. And, remember the wooden shoe trees that my dad had. So I invented a wearable shoe tree.
Yeah.
So that's.
So you have this idea. Show them the other shoe too. So you tell us about these shoes. These got a story.
These shoes have a story. I mean, these shoes are old, man. These are actually. Well, this is some newer packaging, but we did use this on the original packaging we had. We used these two shoes, but I can tell you some funny stories.
So these two shoes were actually on the original packaging?
Yeah, I still have some of it. It's around somewhere, but it's funny because the story between these two shoes, and look, you can see I've got it written right there, www.box-fresh.com. That was the original website.
This is 2006, you said?
Yeah, 2006
You were killing them.
when I got these. I mean, you can see how old they are, and I wore them all at the same amount of times. Look at the bottoms of them. Look at the stars worn off.
Right.
But look at the toe box on them.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Bro, so I would wear these every night. Like these, Look, I had a pair of these sneakers custom painted, right? They're custom painted red and white and black. Had the website name put on it, and then I put a sneaker shield in this one and nothing in this one, and I wore them every single day. There's over 1,000 wears on these shoes, over 1,000, and look at this toe box.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So I would be out, whether I'm at the club or whether I'm at a restaurant, or didn't matter where I was, man. When you walk up and you got one shoe that looks brand new, and the other shoe that looks like that, people ask questions. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
great conversation starter.
Yeah. So everybody that that asked, I told them, I came up with this product, and it ended up to be a hit. I don't know what to say.
Right. So tell us about this. You've mentioned to me just in our previous conversation, like people will come up to you and be like, bro, like, how do your shoes look like this?
Yeah. Actually, I'll tell you a story about that. So I was actually out at the races in Texas after
horse races, right?
No, the NASCAR. NASCAR races.
Okay. We're in Texas, so you say races, that could mean a whole bunch of things.
Yeah, exactly, right. No, we were at the race car. I was out there with my team, and we had an RV out there with a banner hanging on the side of it, and the banner, it had a picture of these sneakers, and it said, with and without, and stop your shoes from creasing. And we're just having a good time drinking and barbecuing. And this guy came up to me, must have been around 6'3", 6'4", and I turned around and I look, and he says, "Hey man, do you have something that can help me?" And I said, "I don't know, what's the problem? You know what I mean? What's going down?" And he says, "Man, look at my shoes." And bro, I'm telling you, I thought I was getting put on candid camera or something. I thought someone was pranking me. I didn't know what was going on, bro, because when I looked down at his shoe, you see, this is a normal shoe that creases.
Right.
But his shoe looked like this. It looked like that, bro.
Like he was running laps around NASCAR.
Bro, like, I didn't know what, I'm looking at this, what I'm looking at, bro. This is his foot. So I started laughing. I was like, what is this? He got a gag shoe on, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know what to think, bro. But it turned out that, he was like, "Oh, I knew you were gonna say something like that. I lost my foot and I ran."
Oh damn! Now how you feeling? Like,
I was
asshole.
like, "Oh no!" Like, "Oh, I didn't mean to laugh, man." It was, I'm throwing the beer on the floor. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I didn't mean it, bro. And he's like, "Man, well,
shout out to the troops."
Yeah, for real. But and shout out to the one homie that I'm talking about. I don't know his name, or else I'd definitely shout him out.
Over 10 years ago.
Yeah, this was 16 years ago,
yeah.
17 years ago maybe. But what happened was, of course I told him. I said, "Yeah, hold on." We went inside and I got him a pair of the shield. Back then we called them the box fresh inserts and stuff. Do you want to cut while this noise is on?
No, he's good.
Okay.
It's his son riding their dirt bikes and stuff around the neighborhood, getting it in.
These guys going ham out there.
Box fresh, the guy with lost his foot. You go in and you get him the sneaker shoes.
Yep. So we give him the sneaker shields, and he takes them and he walks off. And must have been 20 minutes later. I'm chilling. We got the music up, and I see him, and he's fast pacing it towards me. And I kind of get an anxiety attack for a second. I'm like, "Oh no!" I'm kind of frozen. You see this big guy, and he's coming, and you can't read him. I can't read his face. He's in the sun, and I'm like, "Is this good? Is this bad?" I don't know.
Yeah.
And he comes up, and he aggressively grabs me and picks me up and starts spinning me. Bro, he's spinning me around, and he's saying, "I can't believe it. I can't. Look at my shoes. Look at my shoes." I got chills up my spine telling you the story, bro. "Look at my shoes. Look at what you did." And you looked at that shoe that looked like this.
Right, because he got half a foot.
And then it looked like that.
Hey,
so, in a way, right, it showed me that these shields will present the appearance of a foot in an amputee's shoe. And more importantly, it showed me that these amputees out there are really mentally going through it, bro.
Yeah.
This guy was like, "Look, man, girls don't even look at me. They take one look at my shoe and, and that's it. They're laughing.
Right,
why is anybody gonna want to hang around something like that? It really made me feel good that he had him on there. His shoes looked amazing. You couldn't tell. He's like, this guy was smiling, bro. It was crazy. Yeah. So
that's a beautiful man.
Again, shout out to the troops, especially. Yeah, and then
we don't know what happened when he took that shoe off when he got to it.
You already know, bro.
Shout out to the troops. So okay, so I want to backtrack a little bit in this. This is real pass the plug information. Because you go from the idea, you're graduating high school, how do you actually get your first shipment of sneaker shoes that you can actually sell? Because there's a lot of work that goes into that, from getting the product sketched out and designed to filing for the patents and finding manufacturing.
Oh, bro, yeah, that was a long learning process. Especially when. To be honest about the inventor stuff, I remember when I was growing up, we lived in in a little city up in Connecticut on the water, and I remember going around this street that goes around the water and all the big houses, and they had built this one huge house over there, and the word around town was that it was the guy that invented the Rubik's Cube. Right? And we were kids back then, and I'm telling you, back then I started manifesting my break as an investor. I'm sorry,
as an inventor.
Yeah, I started manifesting my break as an inventor. Yep. And it did take some time. And that's another thing people say, "Well, how long? I've been manifesting this for, 5 years. How long does it take?" There's a simple answer to that. It takes until it happens.
Facts.
It
So
takes until it
walk
happens.
me through this. What is that manifesting? Is there certain books that you read? How did you get put onto this information?
You know, it's real simple. You can go out and read 100 books and spend hours studying it, or you could, listen to me for 30 seconds when I tell you, listen, you have to believe that you're going to accomplish something, or that you're going to obtain something, or that, you're going to have, so whatever your goal is, it is. But you have to believe that you're going to attain it.
Absolutely.
You don't necessarily have to think, like they say, oh, pretend that you have it and feel it, and you're driving, while you're in your Honda, pretend like you're in the Lamborghini. Sure, that can't hurt.
Right.
But there's no way you're going to convince yourself in that Honda that you're in a Lamborghini.
Facts.
And part of manifesting is truly believing. I mean, like when I say, how much do you believe that you're a man?
1,000%.
1,000%. So if I were to ask you, how much do you believe that you're going to be successful within the next 5 years, and you'll become a multimillionaire within 5 years? How much do you believe that?
I believe that 1,000%. There's no way around it. It has to happen.
Then that most likely will happen for you.
I'll be shocked if it doesn't happen. If I'm not a millionaire in the next 2 to 3 years, I will be shocked.
And that's how you got to think. And the biggest thing about understanding the law of attraction is just believing it. And we're all so confused with, what does believing it mean? Well, do you believe in God? Yeah. Okay, let's do this for a second. Let's set you up on a lie detector test, okay? Yep. And we're going to set you up, and we're going to ask you, are you a man? And you're going to say yes. And we're going to get a reading on that machine. And then I'm going to ask you any other question in the world that you think the answer is yes to, that you believe as much as you believe. Like, do you believe in God? Yes. Do you believe in God as much as you believe that you're a man? And you say yes, I'm interested to see what that says.
Right.
But I can tell you that when you ask me, are you a man? And I say yes. And if the next question is, do you believe that you'll be successful? And do you believe this and that? And whatever my goals are, and they ask me, do you believe? Yeah. That thing's going to read as if I said, yep. And they're going to say, this guy has tricked himself into believing something that just isn't true. Welcome to Manifestation 101, brother.
It saved you from reading a bunch of books. So
there you go.
Okay, so let's get into it, man. So let's finish the story, though. So you were saying manifesting. You start to manifest and realize that you're going to be successful. You're going to build this empire with your sneaker shoes, box fresh at the time. How do you find your first plug? How do you find that guy wherever you got it manufactured at? What country is this in? Did you have to go there? Did somebody pass that plug and connect the dots for you?
Yeah. No, it was, back then it was just as simple as, picking up the phone book, or, the internet was out back then. But I think I found my first manufacturing plant. It might have been on the internet, You can find so many things today on just Googling something. But as far as the plug, and I'll tell you this much, there's a couple of things that you have to succeed, or else the plug doesn't even matter. All right? Passion is the number one thing. Okay?
Absolutely.
And if I could give any entrepreneur the advice on how to become successful, then my advice would be, simply put, I have a system that you can go off of if you want to, right? And that is, until you turn 20 years old, just do whatever you want, man. Get in trouble, screw around, party, whatever. But once you turn 20, from 20 to 30, you have to find your passion.
Yeah.
And if you get out of school at 18 years old and start working at Walmart, and at 20 you're a cashier's manager, and at 25 you're this, by the time you're 30 and you hate your life as a manager of Walmart, it's almost too late. Okay, because the formula is like this. Like I said, from 0 to 20, it's whatever.
Free game. Do what you gotta do.
Yeah, you get a fur adjudication, all kind of stuff when you're young, right? Yeah. So the door's open to cause trouble. Do what you want to do, or learn. Start early if you want to. But once 20 comes, start to get jobs. You find yourself in a job and you say, I hate my life. Quit. Your bills aren't paid. Tough shit. Quit.
Yeah.
Quit. And quit and do what? Go find another job doing something else.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what's that going to do? Well, that's not going to do anything if a week into the job you hate your life again, right? We're going to quit that job again. Then we're going to start another job. So let's say that you start, waiting tables and you can't stand it. You hate the way, some people don't tip. It just drives you crazy. So the restaurant business isn't for you. So maybe selling cars is for you. Go start selling cars. Maybe your car. So let's say you go selling cars. You sell a car in the first 2 days and you're like, I just made $5,000.
Yeah.
I could do this forever, right? Then the next day you come in, bang, you bang another banger.
Yeah.
Now your first week you made $10,000.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that'll build passion for someone that doesn't know, right? Why should I be passionate about this? Well, I just made $10,000 a week. You ever do that before? No, neither has many other people. Right? You'll know you're passionate about something and not even know it.
Yeah.
Right? Like I didn't even know what passion was in the beginning.
Right.
So the biggest thing is the passion, and finding the passion is the most important thing. And you won't find the passion by coming out of school, getting a job, and doing that thing for the rest of your life. You have to keep doing every single thing. Just go bartend bar. Go run a roller skating rink. Go sell cars. Go sell ice cream.
Yeah.
Just do everything.
Yeah.
Until you do that one thing that says, this isn't even work. Like you with the video stuff, right? I mean, I watch you work and I'm like, this guy ain't even working. He's like me when I'm in the lab, you know?
Yeah. Well, I've been on your program, not even knowing that was a program. This could sound crazy for some people, but maybe not to you knowing your program. I've had 32 jobs and I'm 27. I've only been fired twice. Because I would do what you did. I would go to that job and I'd be like, this ain't it.
This ain't for me, man.
I quit 2 weeks. I get usually about 4 weeks because you got to work 2 weeks to get the check.
Yep.
But then you work those 2 weeks and then you got to wait another 2 weeks to get that first check. So by then I already had the next job lined up. So I'm collecting my first and last check.
Yep.
It's just how the game goes.
It is.
I stumbled upon this. There's a gift and passion. Those are also two different things, right? Something we've been talking about. Like a lot of times people want to make their passion their work, but oftentimes they're neglecting their gift. You're gifted and passionate at what you're doing right now, and that's that sweet spot, right?
That's the sweet, I mean, it's like LeBron, he loves playing ball. He's gifted at it. I mean, he's one of the best in the world at it.
Right.
You think he spends a day unhappy doing what he's doing? No, man.
Right.
And the money is irrelevant. When you find that sweet spot and you're doing what you love to do, you're gonna make the money.
Right.
At that point, it's just staying consistent with it.
Right.
For how long? Everyone wants to know. Until you make that $100,000 a year, or that $250 a year, or whatever your goal is, until you get there. Yep. Right?
1000%.
You have to, and that's another thing. Everybody wants to become a millionaire before they make $100,000.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, that's facts.
You
gotta baby step it up.
The levels to this game, bro. This is facts, bro. There's levels to this game. It took me 16, 17 years to get where we're at right now. The first year, you know what I'm saying? The first year I came out with sneaker shoes, we did under 20,000 the first year. Second year, 40. You can't live on that. And if I'd have said, man, I'm at this 2 years, I ain't even out of debt from the first year. I'm out. I'm on something else.
Right. You stuck with it.
I wouldn't be here today, you know what I'm saying? With a million pairs of, shoes being saved every day.
I could ask you a million. So were you working jobs while you were building it? What type of jobs did you have, man? I know you as Paulie today. I'm trying to imagine what type of jobs did you have along this way?
Yeah. I mean, it was really just one, and while I was at that job, my boss there was lucky enough to loan me the money. Rest in peace, he had passed away already, but yeah, man, he had loaned me what I needed to get the jump, and
that's a great relationship there.
Yeah, that's a great relationship. I did a lot for his company as well. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a one-way street at all. I was
What industry was it?
Telecom.
Okay, telecommunications.
Yeah,
okay.
Telecommunications. Yeah.
Got it.